be live. Let me go ahead and check to see if we are live. I am just doing a quick check. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Q. I am your marketing strategist here at Marketing Strategies This Week Live. I'm so excited to be here with you today. If you're watching live, go ahead and put hashtag team live. If you're watching the rerun, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Now, here's the truth. Most social content fall flat because it's too generic. You spend all of this time putting in all of this effort to create content, publish it on the right time, on the right platform, and then you get crickets, or even worse, you attract the wrong audience. What happens is you're unclear about who you're messaging. That's kind of the truth. One of the biggest mistakes people make is speaking to everybody as opposed to speaking to just one person. Instead of building authority, you're wasting energy and you're attracting the wrong people. And then what happens is you're left wondering why people aren't turning into leads, that you're getting likes, but you're not getting leads. You're getting followers, but you're not getting buyers. Well, today I'm going to show you something called the magnetic post formula. It's going to show you how to create content that gets people to convert into actual sales. How many of you, let me know in the chat, would love to know exactly how to do that, to make sure that the time you're spending on social media is being put to good use and that you're going to get a high effort, a high output for the high effort that you're putting in. Now, again, my name is Sean Q. I am a marketing strategist at Next Step Social and Podcasting. We are a full service social media marketing company and podcast production platform. We show you exactly how to build authority, create credibility, and turn your content into buyers. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. All right. How many of you feel like this is you, right? You're that lady who's trying to get the attention of your audience, but for some reason they're ignoring you. They're scrolling by, they see your content, but it doesn't really stop them in their tracks. What if instead you could create content that gets people to say this exactly? Take my money. Oh my gosh, I need what you have to offer. You're the right person for me. I need what you have. Let me buy it. Well, that's today's goal. It's to get you to become somebody where people actually recognize so much of what you can offer, your authority, your position, and they essentially say, "You're awesome. I need what you have to offer. Take my money." Now, if you're tired of getting likes but no leads, posting on social media but hearing crickets, and getting ignored while your competition seems to be getting loads of engagement, good news, you're at the right stream. What if you could get engagement from the right people, turn those likes into real leads, and leverage social media without spending a single dollar on paid ads? Well, here's the truth. If you're taking notes, write this down. 80% of consumers are more likely to make a purchase from a brand that speaks directly to them. That's why it's so key to make sure that our content isn't generic or vague, but it's speaking directly to our ideal clients. It's speaking to their pain points and their goals. It's giving them the right obvious next step. And 70% of US adults say that they tend to buy from brands that reflect their personal values. This is where attraction and repelling plays such a key role. What if you could create content that speaks directly to the right person? It attracts them, but it also repels unqualified or unaligned, misaligned people. Well, that's our goal with the magnetic post formula. Here's what oftentimes happens, and let me know this. Maybe you've done this before, but generic content oftentimes speaks to everybody. I know a lot of business owners, they want to have a high reach. Maybe that's you. You want to reach as many people as possible. You see social media as an opportunity to broadcast your message for free on these platforms. And so you do that. You just want to get to everybody. Well, what happens is when you try to reach everyone, you actually reach no one. Most of the time, businesses want to feel safe. And so they create content that's kind of feels safe. It's not going to offend anyone. It's not going to really say much, but at least it's promoting us. But what happens is you become forgettable. It focuses on cliche. Sometimes it's very easy to use like a cliche phrase like, we hope people live their best life. But that could be applied to anyone and everyone from a gym coach to an attorney to a chiropractor to a real estate agent. Anybody can say, I'm helping you live your best life, which means it doesn't really communicate it to anybody. What happens is your content, if it's generic, it might get low ranked engagements. In other words, it's getting likes, which is a low rank level of engagement, but oftentimes from unqualified people or just from loyal fans, people who like you, they know you in real life, they see your posts, so they're going to like it because they want to support you, but they're not actually a lead. It creates confusion on who you're really for and how you can truly support people, because if you're trying to speak to everyone, you're not speaking to anyone. And what happens is you begin to blend into the noise, or what we call you become easily scroll pastable. In other words, people can scroll past you real easy. Instead of creating generic content, what we do with our clients is we help them create very specific content that speaks directly to one person. We use that one person's language when it comes to pain points and desires, with what they want to stop, the pain they want to stop, and the goals they want to achieve. We call out who it's not for. And we're very clear this is not for everybody, specifically this type of person. We attract fewer people oftentimes, but the right ones lean in hard. Instead of getting everybody, we're getting the right people who are highly qualified to work with you, to hire you. We build trust and authority because people begin to feel like, oh my gosh, you really get me. You understand me. You're speaking to me, not to everyone. What happens is this content oftentimes drives higher ranked engagement as well. Now, we don't want just likes, but we want people to comment, to DM you, to save your content, and to share your content. Those are high ranked engagement uh, variables. And so we want to make sure that we're getting as many of those as possible. We don't just want likes, but imagine you have 500 people who scroll through your content and 200 of them share your content to other people. I would much rather you get 200 people sharing your content than 200 likes. Why? Because a like is just easy, whereas a share or even a save shows the platform, wow, you're creating such great content that people want to share this. So that's our goal, is to create content on social media that speaks directly to one person, uses very clear and specific language such as their pain point and desires, calls out who it's not for, attracts fewer people but the right people so they can really lean in, builds trust and authority, and drives higher ranked engagement. Now, let me give you a couple of examples. We work with a lot of attorneys. And so I'll give you an example of an attorney. A very generic piece of content you can publish online would be, need legal help? Our firm is here to protect your rights. Call today for a free consultation. Cool. But literally anybody can post that who's an attorney, which means you're not really standing out and you're blending into the noise. And then what happens is you don't really get seen as the authority, you just get seen as another option. Here's how we would change this to be a little bit more specific. If you're a parent in Denver going through a custody battle, right? That's very specific on who this post is for. A parent in Denver going through a custody battle. You don't need another lawyer who just files paperwork. You need an advocate who understands the emotional weight of fighting for your kids. Now, you recognize the pain we're talking about, the emotional weight of fighting for your kids. That's why our family law team focuses only on custody and visitation cases. So you don't get lost in a shuffle of a general practice. Now we are really specializing and building authority on what this attorney specializes in. If you're ready to fight for time with your children, that's the goal. Call us today. P.S. If you're just looking for the cheapest option, we're not the right law firm for you. We're repelling the wrong people. But if you want an advocate who will fight for your custody case like it's personal, let's talk. So we're repelling and we're attracting in the same kind of two sentences at that PS. See the how easy it is now to identify if I'm the right person or the wrong person to reach out to this law firm. If we go back to the generic one, need legal help? Well, yeah, but there's so many ways that somebody might need legal help. Here, we're speaking to exactly who the person is, where it is, and what they want and what they're going through. So notice the energetic shift, even in just reading them. I'll give you another example. Let's go ahead. We work with a lot of real estate agents. I fully believe this. Every realtor and every real estate agent is just a ninja in a blazer. You are incredible because you help people become homeowners and make the biggest financial transaction in their life as easy and smooth as possible. So we love working with real estate agents. Here's a generic piece of content that we see all the time. Looking to buy or sell a home? I'm here to help you with all your real estate needs. Contact me today. If you're a real estate agent, you're probably posting this with a selfie in front of a house that you're about to tour. But this really is so generic that any real estate agent or any team leader or any brokerage could post this, and you really don't know any specifics. How would we shift this? Well, let's look at specific. First time home buyers, speaking exactly to who we're looking for, in Littleton. That's a specific city in Colorado. You've probably been told you need 20% down and perfect credit. Not true. Now we're doing some education in this post. Last month, I helped a young couple close on their first home with just 3% down, and we negotiated the seller to cover closing costs. Now we're using a case study or a testimonial as leverage to build authority. I'm not the agent for you if you want to see 20 houses just for fun. We're repelling the wrong people. But if you're serious about finding your first home in Littleton, I'll help you buy with as little as 3% down. If you're renting in Littleton and think home ownership is out of reach, DM me first home. Now we're creating a really strong call to action because we're telling people what the very next step is. DM me first home, and I'll send you the exact checklist that they used to get that house. Notice how specific this is. We know who it is. First time home buyers. Not second time home buyers. It's not sellers. It's not real estate investors. It's first time home buyers. Where? Not everywhere in Colorado, in Littleton, Colorado. And we're speaking to people who may have these false beliefs on what is absolutely mandatory in order to buy a home. So we're now speaking to people who need and want someone to educate them. And then we're giving a very clear call to action at the very end, which is here's how to have a conversation. Anybody who DMs first home is a new lead. This is how, are you seeing how we turn content into real, genuine leads? I'll give you another example. Chiropractors. We work with a lot of chiropractors and health service providers. And so let's talk about chiropractors. Here's a generic chiropractic piece of content that you could post. You're probably posting this with a photo of your studio area or your workspace. We help people live healthier, pain-free lives. Book your adjustment today. That's awesome. I love the fact that you support people in living a healthier and pain-free life, but any and every chiropractor is probably saying the exact same thing. So how can we really help you stand out in the crowd? Let's get specific. If you're a busy mom in Golden, Colorado, who's tired of constant tension headaches and stress keeping you from being present with your kids, I see you. Okay, who is this for? Busy moms. Where? Golden, Colorado. What are their problems? Tension headaches, stress, and not being able to spend quality present time with their kids. Listen, if I knew a mom who lived in Golden, or even near Golden, right? Because people could go to Golden from surrounding cities, I would probably be sending this to that person saying, hey, check this out. Notice how the more specific we are, the clearer it is for other people to share it. Let's keep going. At Body and Balance, we don't just crack and send you on your way. We use gentle nervous system based care that helps your body release stress at the root so you can show up calm, connected, and pain free. They're differentiating themselves from other chiropractors who maybe they just crack, make you feel good for a few seconds, few minutes, few days, and then you're back into pain. They're going a little bit deeper, right? Gentle nervous system based care, getting at the root so they can release stress. If you're looking for high force, aggressive adjustments, that's not what we do here. Now we're repelling, right? If that's what you want, that's not us. Our approach is gentle, precise, and designed for sensitive, stressed nervous systems. If you're ready to get your energy back, DM us balance. So we're making the obvious next step clear. What do I do if I want a gentle, precise, and sensitive uh, service? Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to DM them balance. And now what's going to happen is we're starting the conversation with this real lead. Anyone who sends that DM as balance is a real lead from this piece of content. That is the magnetic post formula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it practical and operationalize this for you so you can actually do this in your very next post and start seeing the difference in how you're showing up online. The magnetic post formula. Every post must do 4 things. It must name exactly who this piece of content's for. It must attract the right people, repel the wrong people, and give people the next action. Okay, so name, attract, repel, and act. Name, attract, repel, and act. How do we do this? Well, when you're creating a piece of content, I want you to think of a real person, like Joey down the block, or the person you just serviced, her name's Stacy, or whoever it is. Think of a real person who is or was an ideal customer or client. Got that person in your mind? Great. You loved working with them. They're amazing. They love paying you because they love the service. Awesome. A real person. Then I want you to describe them in as many details as possible. So write just in like a bullet form list all the things about them. Maybe they're in Littleton, Colorado. Maybe they're a woman. Maybe they're a busy mom. Maybe they're a professional career person. Write down all the specifics you can because you're going to pull some of that into the post. Then I want you to write a post that's specifically for them, speaking to their pain points and goals. And a little tip is actually start your post by saying their name. So, Sean, this post is for you. Now, don't worry, you're not going to post that. You're not going to put them on blast. You'll delete that before you publish it. But what I've seen is this actually primes you to write specifically for that person. So you're reminded, okay, this is not just for everyone online. This is for Sean specifically. And then you want to make sure that you're including who it is and who it's not for. So a very easy way to do this is if blank, this isn't for you. If you just want this, or if you see life through this lens, or if you just want to experience this kind of service, we're not for you. But if you want this instead, this is for you. It's very easy. If you want this, it's not for you. But if you want this, it is for you. Just a this or that. And then you want to include a very strong call to action to engage and take the next obvious step. So essentially, sometimes we use an emoji. Give us a fire emoji if you want if you want the checklist on what you should do before going to a chiropractor. Give us the word home if you're looking for your next home in the next 6 months. Put the word sale if you're looking to sell your home in the next 3 to 6 months, and you want the checklist on what you should do before you actually list it. Right? We're leading with a resource, we're leading with value, so we can start the conversation and give people direction on what to do after reading the post. Okay, so name, attract, repel, and act. That is the magnetic post formula. Every social post should repel the wrong people and attract the right ones. So I want you to do kind of a selfie review. You can take a selfie picture too, but do a selfie review. Did your last 5 posts go in your social, whether it is on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube or on X or wherever it is, and review the last 5 posts you did and ask yourself, does this follow the magnetic post formula? Did this attract the right people? Did this content lead to someone reaching out? Did it lead to leads? Now, here's the good news. If you are ready to attract clients on social and you don't want to do this on your own, here's the good news. We would love to work with you. If you want a quick hack or a one-off viral post, we're not the right fit for you. Notice what I did there. But if you want a long-term strategy where every post works like a magnet for your dream clients, we'd love to help. We don't just manage social media, we build strategies that turn content into clients. And that's actually your first step. It's to book a free strategy consultation with our team where we will dive deep. We'll do kind of a business triage where I identify where your business is at with marketing, look at all of the analytics. We'll print out a quick report for you so you can see where you're missing out. And we'll give you a very clear what that next step looked like. And if it makes sense, we can actually support you. We'll have that conversation as well. So, just as a recap, let me go back to this. Make sure that you're using the magnetic post formula so that you can magnetically attract those right dream clients and get the right people in your audience reacting, responding, saving, commenting, sharing your content. I want you to imagine right now, what would it look like if every single post was strategically designed to get leads for you? That you weren't just kind of wasting time or following, kind of what we see a lot of clients do is they scroll through reels or they scroll through other people's content, maybe their competitors, and then they try to replicate it. And what happens is they don't get the results because although they're doing the content, they're not doing the strategy behind it. So, what would life look like if every single post was strategically designed for you? My name is Sean Q. I'm a marketing strategist here at Next Step Social, and I am so excited to potentially have a conversation with you. Book a call, use the link in the description, and I hope to see you use those magnetic post formulas. Let me know if once you create a piece of content, share it in the comments and chat below. I would love to see what your post looks like, engage with it, and give you a little bit of algorithm love. I'll see you next time.